The Jehovah's Witnesses, or the Watchtower, has 4 requirements for one to obtain salvation and to be able to live forever on paradise earth. And we find these requirements in the Watchtower, February 15th, 1983, on page 12. I wanted to take a look at these 4 requirements and see how they measure up to Scripture. Jesus Christ identified a first requirement when he said in prayer to his Father, "This means everlasting life, their taking in knowledge of you, the only true God, and of the one whom you sent forth, Jesus Christ." John 17:3. Knowledge of God and of Jesus Christ includes knowledge of God's purposes regarding the earth and of Christ's role as earth's new king. Will you take in such knowledge by studying the Bible? Number 2. Many have found the second requirement more difficult. It is to obey God's laws. Yes, to conform one's life to the moral requirements set out in the Bible. This includes refraining from debauched, immoral way of life. 1 Corinthians 6, 9, and 10, and 1 Peter 4, 3, 4. 3. A third requirement is that we be associated with God's channel, His organization. God is always used in organization. For example, only those in the ark in Noah's day survived the flood, and those associated with the Christian congregation in the first century had God's favor. Acts 4:12. Similarly, Jehovah is using only one organization today to accomplish His will. To receive everlasting life in the earthly paradise, we must identify that organization and serve God as part of it. Number 4, the fourth requirement is connected with loyalty. God requires that prospective subjects of His kingdom support His government by loyally advocating His kingdom rule to others. Jesus Christ explained, "This good news of the kingdom will be preached in all the inhabited earth." Matthew 24:14. Will you meet this requirement by telling others about God's kingdom? I'm sure that we're all pretty familiar with John 3:16. "For God so loved the world, that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in Him shall not perish, but have everlasting life." It doesn't say anything about doing good works. It doesn't say anything about being in God's associated channel. And it has nothing to do with loyalty to that channel. Let's look at Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 and 9. "For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast." Let's look at Acts chapter 13, verse 39. "And by Him all that believe are justified from all things, from which ye could not be justified by the law of Moses." How about Romans 3:20? "Therefore, by the deeds of the law there shall no flesh be justified in his sight, for by the law is the knowledge of sin." Romans 3:27. "Where is boasting then? It is excluded. By what law? Of works? Nay, but by the law of faith." And verse 28, "Therefore we conclude that a man is justified by faith without the deeds of the law." Let's read that one more time. "Therefore we conclude that a man is justified by faith without the deeds of the law." You see, the problem with the 4 requirements of salvation listed by the Jehovah's Witness in this Watchtower publication is that it is completely not biblical, and it is a completely different gospel of the one that we find in God's Holy Scripture. Now, Paul warns against this in Galatians chapter 1, verses 6 through 9. He says, "I marvel that ye are so soon removed from Him that called you into the grace of Christ unto another gospel, which is not another, but there be some that trouble you, and would pervert the gospel of Christ. But though we, or an angel from heaven, preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. As we said before, so say I now again, if any man preach any other gospel unto you than that ye have received, let him be accursed. That's pretty serious business when he says it twice. And the problem is here is that the Watchtower is preaching another gospel. And Paul warns clearly of that. If you are a Jehovah's Witness, please pray and ask Jehovah for guidance and to open your eyes and to reveal truth to you. Ask him to reveal the truth to you. Ask him to show you.